Shadow Phoenix. Shadow Phoenix. Boom. An amazing goddamn card. If you're not in the shadows, you may not be where it's at. I apologize. You go wherever your heart contents. Anyway, Shadow Phoenix is an amazing card. A card that you can go to McDonald's and say, "Hi, I would like 5 $1 menu cheeseburger." And then the guy says, "If you eat this right, you will be able to get another 5 cheeseburger for 50 cents. Really? Fuck yeah! This is a short metaphor of how the card actually works with another card supporting it. So let's jump to the discount Shadow Phoenix and its ability. Shadow Phoenix is a one-kind, second-of-the-era shadow creature. This is a creature only attacking as a kamikaze air to the ground, which is Phoenix crashes into one unit for 500 damage per target, 2,000 total. The creature is not necessarily lost, as if 2,000 life points from the corpse can be gathered within 3 seconds after the crash. The Phoenix will be born anew. This is particularly easy if there are already casualties in a nearby field. So let's read it. Actually, I don't want to read the main description. Basically, 500 damage to all enemies in 25 radius, 2,000 total damage. Unit dies. It can only knock back small, medium unit. Only affects ground unit. Keep that in mind because that is a weakness that it does have. So if you're doing RPVE and you find the Lost Soul and you find these, or the Twilight, either side of it, you'll find like the Falling Sky Angel of the Lost version of it, and these Twilight brains, basically, that cannot be affected by it. So something you want to keep in mind. It only affects the ground creature, has no effect against anything that is in the air. As it crashes down, it collects 2,000 life. It may be reborn again. So if you look down, we have the rolls, the kamikaze attack, the counters, the counter buy. Keep in mind on those, and the combos. There's Embalmer Shrine and Aura Corruption. Embalmer Shrine is where we're heading, and that is the next description. Embalmer Shrine is the first era shadow building that is a very useful and often overlooked card for supporting other shadow corpse gathering cards. By increasing the amount of life from corpses, other corpses gathering cards become more efficient. For example, Shadow Phoenix will require less life in order to be reborn. Corpse Explosion will be ready to reach its maximum damage, and Furnace of Flesh will return more void power to the power pool. If you use Furnace with Decomposing and Banner of Glory in PvE, you can use a very efficient way to gather almost all your power back from killed unit instantly. That's actually good. Drop down. You can see the description. Activate to gain more life point from corpses. For the next 40 seconds, all corpses in the current game will grant 170% more life points when being gathered. Has a 60-second cooldown after building was built. Reusable every 60 seconds. Let me tell you something. That is goddamn awesome. Not only does your Shadow Phoenix or your gathering corpses are affected, but everyone else in the game who has these type of gathering corpses are also affected. So while they also have Shadow Phoenix, they don't probably need to build Embalmment if you built it, or if they built it, you don't need to build Embalmment because they are the ones who are going to be using it. You just gotta make sure that you tell them that you're about to go in with your Shadow Phoenix and all that. Now, actually, look a little bit more down. Oh, and another thing, make sure you have 2 of them, just like Shrine of War. They have a different second cooldown for the sixing. Like they're not gonna be up at the same time or anything like that. So you'll be able to use one Embalmment Shrine, and then you can use the second one that you actually built. And by the time that is over, you can use again the first one. Same thing with the Shrine of War that I actually showed on the last video for it. Here's the counters that you can see right there: counter buy and combos of the card. And now the easy part, which is going to be quite a short video. We're going to see some example of the Shadow Phoenix being played. Moving on into some of the examples of the video, we're going to go into the first one, which is the Empire 2-man of the Phoenix. Now the first thing you're actually going to see is the Nox Trooper, but I wanted to see how long it can last. But after looking at it, they always get those blue shield. I think I made a mistake to actually just keep the Nox Trooper. But I had Shadow Phoenix in the back as a backup with 2 of the Embalmment. At one point, I do forget how to use, how to use the phone, but I forget to use the Embalmment. But anyway, let's see the Phoenix in action. They go in, they kill someone, they rest. They go in, they kill someone, or someone's already dead and still has more life because of the Embalmment is still giving them a lot of life. Still go ahead and wipe everything out with the Phoenix. So there it is. Still resting from it. Still a lot of corpse up there to rest from it. I summon another one, and I move up to help Mo survive. As you see, I do forget right there. Boom! I forget to use the embalmment shrine, and that's my fault. I actually looked to the left, and I'm like, "What happened?" And it seems that one of them I activated it wrongly. I pressed Z on the wrong shrine instead of the other one, because again, I do separate them in number 1 and number 2, while the Phoenix are resting, and I have to put them in a different category group or drag and drop to actually control the Phoenixes together. So again, I start using the juicer tank, but I'm going to move here and to the top left, and here is a fallen. You can't do any damage to the fallen, that's fine. I'm just going to destroy the goddamn monster on the left with the base, and then I'm going to move to the right, destroy that right there too, and then at one point, oof, it almost got me right there on that one, because again, there's an anti-turret, and those actually hit the anti-air unit turrets. They're hit very, very hard. I'm always going to take care of that little critter over there, and then I'm going to use my Shadow Phoenix again for the other area. Paying 50, by the way, is for the embalmment. That's how much you have to pay. Hence the little joke I made about the 50 cents. After that, everything was actually cleared for me, which I went with Amy and finished the game with my partner. Moving into the next type of video, this is actually an RPVE, and majority of the time that you're going to be using the Shadow Phoenix. So as you see right here, there are no Sky Fallen. I actually checked that out by sending a Nox Trooper ahead of time before I send my Phoenixes, because otherwise I would have to send my Nox Trooper and my Phoenixes together. One actually distracting the Sky Fallen. That actually finished up the whole camp on there, and because the other person cannot even push his camp, no problem. It actually helps him push his camp, leaving the last few survivor right there on the bottom. And I do summon 2 more because not life, but again, it leaves the survivor being able to push. Then here's just an example for the expert, which is the Raven's End. So I just come here with a Shadow Phoenix, but again, on the bottom left, there is an anti-turret unit. And as well, these units do hit hard. So I think it would have been much better if I would have used someone to CC them, and then I actually target it. Like maybe someone comes here with me. But again, you can see the power of the Shadow Phoenix and how great it is to clear that area just with the Sheeted Phoenix and Embalmment Shrine. We then move into a place that I do make a lot of mistakes. Now, I did this 3 times in different area of the month. And the first one I did it perfect. Second time I messed up a bit, but again, I should have actually waited before, because it's only 3 Phoenix. I should have killed it with the Liar's Defender and then hit them all. At the same time, I should have kited this a little bit more to the right, top right, so that way I can also gather the corpse of the Rage Flame monster, which is on the right side. I didn't do that, so that I only get a couple of Phoenix back, as you see. But again, if you actually do it correctly, it's the same thing as the metaphor, which I said about, you know, for 50 cents you get them all back. Here's an example just to show you. I do this correctly. Boom, 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 boom. They all die. They all come back. And then again, during the last area, you're going to find the grinder. And this is Soul Tree on expert mode. Boom, 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 boom. It comes all the way back. Then finish up with the remainder of the monsters. And then again, comes right back. So even during this area, if you actually use the Phoenixes, and at one point I started looking more to the right and I forgot to look in here. But again, if you actually alternate a little bit so they can actually start getting hit and then, you know, moving it back and forward and stuff like that, you sometimes can make allow them to survive. Either way, it actually is great because by the time they all die or anything like that, you already have Moon coming in and saving them right at the last second. There it is, Moon. And on the right side, though I didn't need to use the Infet, which I did, then didn't use the Infet, I could have just used the Shadow Phoenix, and that would have still gave me a lot to make those 2 Phoenixes come back and survive. So I actually finished this with the Ami, obviously, because you don't need to do the top right side. Again, Ami video is going to come next, maybe tomorrow. I also wanted to show this example, which is just a defense way. The first thing I do is I use the volcano, and only 2 of them will appear during this area, and I'm going to use the shrine, and I'm going to get everything right back. Then I will send my shaman on top right side, just so I don't want to stall too much. And I'm going to keep some of the Phoenix here protecting this area in case they come out, because I have no idea what cave they come up. Once I saw them over here very closely, I start actually attacking them all at once. Ash Pyro can definitely hit the Phoenix, and so can this monster, which technically kind of like pushing them back a bit, you know. However, I did not saw the other group on the top left side until my whales were getting attacked. So I probably should have waited a bit and into sending them. See, like, not all of them are going to splash and hit them together. There's still going to be some still getting hit. It should have been better that I do it that way. That way I could have gotten them all hit at the same time. And as they all rest at the same time, I might be able to actually hit them all and finish the area. Still did sorry about that. Still did pretty good. I actually finished up the whole top right here by itself. Boom, boom, boom. Here comes that one. Comes another one on the next one. And then on the bottom left, I go ahead and summon just a couple more. Because look, I have about 900, almost close to 1,000 power. And I come down here in the bottom, as you see, next to the breeding ground, and go right ahead and start using them on these the last defense that I have here. I do end up finishing map obviously with only a volcano because I do defend this area to the point that I can't defend anymore, meaning that during the end of the match I only had a volcano to face, like 2 red volcano. So as you see right there, boom, 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 boom. Shrine, using the embalmer shrine, everything just keeps resting and resting and resting. Get this guy here. Again, that one rest. And then I still have some Phoenix X, which as well, you can recycle that. You know, I'm going to summon a Decomposer. I'm going to use it on the Decomposer, and then it's going to be, sorry, I summoned a Furnace. I'm going to use it on the Decomposer. Just look at the top right side, which is the power. Boom, 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 boom. It goes into the Furnace. And that's it. Fully recycle Phoenixes, just for the cost of 50 cents. That's going to be technically the end of the video. If you guys want to use this kind of strategy, all you're going to do is an Embalmer Stride and Phoenixes. You're going to need 2 Embalmer Stride to be able to keep them alive by the, you know, rotating the cooldown, but that's all you're going to be needing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a good day.